Good evening, friends. This is Rahul Magan here as a Group Chief Executive Officer, Treasury Consulting, and also a venture capitalist. As we speak, Treasury Consulting Group is a multinational headquartered group based out India, Singapore, and Hong Kong. More importantly, we do have our offices in three parts of the globe, and as we speak, we hold our own proprietary hedge fund. Proprietary means that we invest our own capital. We do not invest the third party capital. Our hedge fund cover equities, commodities, gold, silver, almost all asset classes. But we do not accept the third party money. That is the most important thing. And we would never do so. That is why it is a proprietary hedge fund, completely profitable. Apart from that, the company holds its own learning platform, which is Sheetal Academy, and also OTT platform over the top. We do have many products. In case you wish to have any information, you can WhatsApp on my personal number, which is +91 9899242978. Alternatively, you can WhatsApp on our back office, which is +91 9818485155. Often a times, often, not seldom, often a times I come in public domain and speak about these big fours, which include Einstein and Young, Deloitte, KPMG, PwC. In fact, today, as we speak, the UK regulator fined one of the big fours. I think it is 3.1 million US dollars regarding the audit work. And today, Wells Fargo sued by Department of Justice in United States, or one of the forums in United States. And to be very honest, Department of Wells Fargo agreed to settle the case with that body. So rather than contesting this and making sure that they not did anything wrong, they just acknowledged it and they wanted to settle it. It means that you did something wrong. Because if you not did anything wrong, then the person will go to court and fight it for years and prove that the regulatory is a wrong person. History is a witness that, like, take an example of Amazon. Amazon overturned many cases, many contracts awarded by the government organizations from the courts. And the recent example in India is the Future Group deal. Because it was very easiest option for the Amazon to just sit it down and see what the hell is going on. But Amazon went to court, not only in India, but also in Singapore. And they got the judgment in their favor because they were right. And rest is history. But in case of Wells Fargo, they just decided to settle it out. We shared the screenshot on our media desk and our Twitter handle. You can refer this free of cost. These things suggest that we are living in a world when these big banks like JP Morgan, Citi, Wells Fargo, and all these big banks, they come very often on the international media. Their analysts, their managing directors, their traders come very often in the media. But the hard reality is they are involved in almost every kind of scandal. You just open the Google and see that effective 2008, what is left which these banks not did. Fixed income scandal, electricity scandal, LIBOR scandal, CDS scandal, and what the hell, what they left with. Today also, I will bring the live evidence of how the paid media works in India. A live evidence. And you know that Treasury Consulting is amongst limited companies in the world who give live evidences, who speak against big fours, regulators, government agencies, and maybe all these corporates and all. So I show you the live evidence. This is a magazine of Dalal Street. And this is the latest magazine of Dalal Street. This magazine is 27th September, which means very latest magazine. In this magazine, we refer page number 17, page number 17. I will show you again this magazine, Dalal Street. This is page number 17. Just check the article on the Tata Group. Rest assured, I'll explain to you. Dalal Street is considered as one of the most reputed magazine in the world of financial markets, at least in India. In fact, previously also, when I was reading Dalal Street, I pinpointed one of the articles regarding MCX, Multi-Commodity Exchange. This article was also incorrectly written. Rather, this article was written to favor the company. And this is another evidence that the authors of these magazines are either asked to write such articles, or they are under pressure to write these articles, or I don't want to use this word. I repeat, either they asked to write these articles, or either they are under pressure to write this article, or But before I go ahead and prove the fact, I would like to challenge the so-called editor of the Dalal Street, Mr. Rajesh V. Padode, Managing Director and Editor. In case I spell it wrongly, I'm sorry, it was completely unintentional. Rajesh sir, it is my open challenge to your magazine. And my number is 9899242978. That you don't deserve to be an editor of Dalal Street, and I doubt whether Dalal Street deserves to be a magazine in the financial market, because this is the second incident I got in Dalal Street. Now let me read for you. First, give me the background. There are two kinds of people we have in India as far as the Tata Group is concerned. Number one, who have a huge respect for Ratan Tata, including me. Personally speaking, Ratan Tata is a great gentleman. I hardly see such gentlemen, industrialists, who respect his employees, who can even do anything for his employees. There is hardly any doubt about that. So it is definitely not a debatable point. As a personality, he deserves 10 out of 10. Clear cut. But during his tenure as a chairperson of the Tata Sons, he took the decisions like Chorus, Jaguar, and many such decisions that accumulated the debt of Tata Group to the highest extent. And unfortunately, just like a traffic, it is a one-way road. And Tata Group, as we speak, is in a huge debt. You look at Tata Sons, you look at Tata Steel, you look at Tata Power, you look at Tata Motors. You just name any company of the Tata except one, which is Tata Consultancy Services. This group is in a huge debt. And you would be surprised to know that very recently Tata, along with SpiceJet, doesn't mean that they're together, along with me, SpiceJet also bid it for Air India, because you know that the government is very keen to sell Air India. And I fail to understand completely, how come a company who is a completely debt-ridden company, except one company in his whole structure, which is Tata Consultancy Services, rest all either are in losses or they are not making huge profits. How come this company can bid for a company known as Air India, which accumulately till financial year 20 having a loss of around 74,000 crores. Guys, as I speak on 27th September 2021, R.1 variant, you know that I am having a very deep interest in coronavirus. I regularly track each and every information about the coronavirus, which is on Google, and in some cases I go till page after page in the Google to search that information. And trust me, as I speak, it is 6:30 Singapore time, 6:30 in the morning. I'm shooting this video when the whole globe is sleeping. R.1 variant, which is considered as one of the most dangerous variant in the world of corona, or in the family of corona, you can say, is already identified in United States. In fact, it already started infecting people in United States. Now the situation is like a cricket team. Name any cricket team, XYZ country, who already lost 5 wickets on 30 runs. And the main bowler of the opposition is yet to come. So already we lost 5 wickets and main bowler is yet to come. So how much we score, we know. The world, whether it is United States, it is Australia, it is Vietnam, it is South Korea, it is Italy, it is Taiwan, it is, I would say Dubai, it is Thailand, it is Philippines, you name any country, guys, it doesn't make much difference, are reeling under Delta variant. Keeping this as a backdrop, Tata is bidding for Air India. What the hell you thinking that you able to run Air India? Okay, if there was no Delta, there is no coronavirus, then people can hope that Tatas can revive the Air India. But keeping this as a backdrop, how can even you think to revive Air India, and why are you bidding for a company who is in losses year after year after year? And more importantly, as we speak in financial year 20, they are having a debt of around, total accumulated loss of around 74,000 crores. And the height is not here. The height is Tata's entering into e-commerce business. Today I was looking at the information about the Amazon, and I got to know that Amazon losing around 5,800 crores in e-commerce business. Paytm is in loss. Flipkart is in loss. Jabong, Myntra, you name one e-commerce company in India who is in profit. And Tatas are entering into e-commerce, and according to an article in the public domain, the Tatas would be raising another $2 to $2.5 billion of funding for their, e-commerce business. Do you think that Tatas would be able to beat Amazon in e-commerce? Okay, Amazon e-commerce having a loss of 5,800 crore. Guys, Amazon global parent company is US listed. They earn in dollars and spend in rupees. $1 billion is 7,500 crores. And Amazon India lost in 1 year is 5,800. Round figure. 1 billion is nothing for Amazon. Nothing. Can Tata's fight with Amazon in e-commerce business? You did mistake in Chorus, you did mistake in Jaguar, you did multiple mistakes, and now you are recounting these mistakes. And guys, the height is that. Let me read this for you, the paid media. If ever Tata Group is in news, it is always for a positive reason. What about the debt of Tata Steel, Tata Motors, chip shortage of Tata Motors? What about the loss in the books of Tata Sun? What about the recent shareholder approval received by the Tata Sun where they are asked to raise 40,000 crores? If ever Tata Group is in news, it is always for a positive reason, except for a time when the departure of Mystery created a big shake-up. Betting on any Tata Group company always make good investment sense. Arman Madani, what the hell? He mean to say that Tata Group do not have any debt. Tata Group companies never be in loss. Jaguar was not in loss. Tata Motors was not in loss. Tata Steel was not in loss. The only thing which is there for Tata is the positivity. This suggests how much we paid. I have Reuters, I have Bloomberg TV, I have many tools, I can vouch the data. But what about a normal person? He feel that this is printed in Dalal Street, page number 17, it means it has to be right. In this whole article, which started from page number 17, page number 18, page number 19 and winded up at page number 20. Now let me go with the page number 20, Titan. He's saying Titan having a strong portfolio, strong fundamentals. Do you know that the jewelry sale of Titan fall on Y-on-Y basis? Titan is having a strong portfolio. And let's check about, where is the okay, let me study this for you. Share of 27 of 28 Tata Group listed company have soared during the year. The multinational conglomerate has added a market value of 85 billion since the beginning of the year, as share price ranging from 15 to 375%. You mean to say everything in the world is share price? Everyone in India is aware that India is an operator-centric market. When the whole world is facing coronavirus, Indigo is going up, PVR going up, and the height is a loss-making company Zomato got the approval for the IPO. Devani International and as I speak, Oyo, Byju's, Paytm, Swiggy and many such companies are in line for IPO. And this guy Arman Madani is comparing the performance of the Tata Group based upon share price. Check it out, guys. What the hell this is? He gave the list of the 20 Tata companies here. I show you this way. The companies are Tata Consultancy, Titan, Tata Steel, Tata Motors, Tata Consumer Product, Tata Power, Voltas, Tata Communication, Trent, Tata Elxsi, Tata Chemicals, the Indian Hotels, Tata Steel BSL, Tata Motors DVR, Tata Teleservices, Tata Investment Corporation, Rallies India, Tata Steel, Tata Coffee, Tata Metallinks. And this person comparing only the returns 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 3 year, 5 years, 7 year, 10 year. Where the hell is debt? Who will pay the debt? Would he or Dalal Street together will pay the debt of the Tata Group? We are speaking on 27 September when the largest retail company of China, real estate company of China, Evergrande, almost on the verge of default. And it is not about Evergrande. 7 more real estate companies in China are on the radar. And as usual, none of the credit rating agencies warned investor preemptively. And for the sake of formality, Standard and Poor, Fitch, they are giving messages to the investor, this may default, this may default, so let's do the formality. Evergrande default once again reminded the world that even the big corporates, those who have big offices, lavish offices, this paid media in the pocket, they can also default. Mr. Rajesh V. Padode, Managing Director and Editor, Dalal Street, are you seriously scrutinizing what this person is writing? And I show you more stupidity. In fact, the more paid content. In financial year 21, Tata Steel paid its debt to the tune of 28,000 crore. As a result, the year-end debt was 75,000 crores, which is 28% lower than financial year 20. You know what? Look at the way he wrote it. He said that Tata Steel having only 75,000 crore debt. 75,000 crore is a very small amount. It is an amount which anyone can afford. Even I can have 75,000 crore debt. You add the debt of Tata Steel, Tata Motors, Tata Power, and all these Tata companies except TCS, guys, you get to know what the hell is, including the Tata Sons. As we speak, no one having the time to compute the debt of all Tata companies. But there are enough articles in the Google, and I have shared few on my Twitter handle, which does confirm the consistent rise in the Tata debt over the period of the time. Now just see what this person is writing. Tata is a name which is known to Indians for generation, a name that is synonymous with the Indian industry and a brand known for salt, software, cars, coffee, gold, pesticide, tea, this. Hey, Mr. Arman Madani, you just tell me how much you being charged to write this article, because in the whole article, you just praised the Tata Group, and there is nothing you mention about the debt in the books of Tata, the interest coverage ratio of the Tata company. Let me read the last paragraph for you, In 1868, the father of Mr. Jamshedji Tata, the father of Indian industry, bought a bankrupt oil mill and converted this into a cotton mill, kicking the Tata Group genre. Today, the 28 public listed companies of Tata Group with a combined market capitalization of 22.2 lakh crore. 22.2 lakh crore is the market capitalization. It is not the cash in the bank. Apple hold $250 billion of cash in the bank. Cash. CASH. Microsoft, Google, Facebook, Amazon, Accenture, Cognizant, Sapient, all top American companies of the globe are holding cash. Just open Amazon Consolidated Financial and you will see what the hell cash means and what the hell profit means. Guys, we have these magazines who comparing a corporate only based on share price. And as we speak, Evergrande is a live example that even the biggest companies can default. And do you know that the debt is not only rising in the case of Tata Group, it is rising in case of Adani's also. Not only Adani's, it is rising in case of many corporates in India. Even central government and state governments' debts are also rising. So if I speak systematically after this pandemic, officially speaking, which is 1st January 2020, you know, state governments, central governments, and many corporates of India have seen a substantial rise in the debt. And Tatas are not an exception. But the reality is, such magazines, a novice person see this magazine, and once he read the article on page number 17, he feels like, that, what should I say? He feels like that, yes, I should invest in the Tata Group. Did people forget it that when Cyrus Mistry, the issue raised in the media, at that point of time, Tata Sons came up in public and said that they would like to buy back the stake, I think around 19% something of Cyrus Mistry and family in the Tata Sons. And at that moment of time, the valuation of this stake somewhere between 1.5 lakh crores to 2 lakh crores. Some articles pointed to 2.5 lakh crores also. So difficult to say which valuation was right, let it be honest. And Tata Sons was, in fact, at that point of time already started the discussions with the private equity and venture capitalist group to fund this money. If Tata Group was positive, then why at that point of time they were talking with private equity and venture capitalist firm for the funding? They should have paid from the cash. Mr. Arman, whatever his name, Arman Madani, remember one thing, at least you have one person from Treasury who is alive. And go to hell, the article which people like you are writing. It is a clear depiction that in this whole special report, guys, do you know what he mentioned? Check it out. Special report, just see. Special report. In this special report, the debt was missing. Do you know that Tata Power return on asset is less than 1%? Do you know the debt of Tata Power? And do you know the ratio which is known as the debt to market cap of the Tata Power? It's already a 30 minutes video. I cannot explain more. It's already more than 6:30 at our place. But guys, I just wanted to tell you one thing, that we are living in a times when yet another evidence, which is the media is asked to give a limelight. And I'm telling you guys, it's not about this media. Let Oyo, Byju's, Swiggy, Lenskart, and all Delivery, and all these loss-making companies come in the market, they get super hype. But Treasury Consulting will continue to challenge this. Mr. Rajesh, Managing Director, just think again. Do you deserve to be a Managing Director? And Mr. Arman Madani, improve your skills. Okay. Next time, before writing a special report, make it special. Okay. If you feel offended, note my number 9899242978. And if I found any other article in the Dalal Street who is look like a paid article, the video is on the way. Remember this. I will not hesitate to make the video. This is Rahul from Treasury Consulting Group, and I hope that people might have learned what is paid media. By paid media doesn't mean you receive the money to write this article. Sometimes you are under obligation to write these articles. Sometimes you are forced to write such articles. Sometimes you being put up in a pressure to write this article. And sometimes this is give and take to write these articles. But can you even expect that a special report on the Tata Group and the debt piece is missing? Completely missing. In fact, guys, just to conclude this video, in this whole page number 17 to page number 18, page number 19 and 20, I have not seen this Arman Madani to speak about Tata Sons and the debt in the books of Tata Sons. This is Rahul from Treasury Consulting Group. Have a great day ahead.